Hi, this is Tyler Kettle, and this is a first reading of Footsteps, a strange story about a man following footsteps in the Australian outback. I sit there staring at Julie's photograph. She stares back at me with bright blue eyes and ruby lips in the shape of a smirk. A motorcycle helmet sits on her head. Long brunette hair hangs down to her shoulders, wild and untamed, just like she was. She sits on a large, dirty motorcycle with a fresh paint job. The Australian outback is behind her. I know every piece of this photograph. What? Hey, what? My mate Sam reaches across the worn table we're sitting at and pats my hand. Are you here? He levels his brown eyes at me. I turn my attention away from the photograph. Yeah, I'm back. Look back at him. He's dressed in his usual clothes, torn jeans and a shirt with a few holes. I've wondered sometimes if he owns anything without tears, rips. He's a good guy, always being worried about everyone, helping people to fix their bikes, that sort of thing. He's got a lot of tattoos, more than I do, and he's pretty slim. But he's got a great smile. For some reason, people seem to like him. Everyone likes him. I've been meaning to ask him how he does that. I'm worried about you. He shifts a bit in the seat, causing a few squeaks to emerge. There's nothing to be worried about. I cast my gaze around the untidy, small room. A decent sized TV sits on concrete blocks. There's a small coffee table in front of it, loaded with dirty dishes, and one ashtray filled with smoked joints. Empty cans of Foster's litter the floor. Sunlight filters in through a window, bouncing off canteens and other unused outdoor equipment hanging on the walls. Sam gestures to his room. You're telling me not to worry? When look at this room. Look at you. He points to me. You can't tell me that you're okay. Sam leans a little forward, keeping his eyes on me. I know what he sees. I see it every morning. My shaven beard covers my face. My hair is untidy and greasy. I have no idea when I last cleaned this shirt. I touch the shirt. Maybe Thursday? What do you want to do? Sam stares at me. To be honest, curl up and die. But I don't tell him that. I just want people to stop asking me questions. Like, fuck, how many times do I have to hear, how are you doing? What a stupid question to ask. I immediately get up. Because clearly I'm not. I take a breath. Can you just go? I turn and look back at Sam. Are you sure? I don't want to leave you alone. Sam rises from the table and walks over to me. Sam, please, just go. I just need to be alone. Turn away. Okay, but I'm only a text or call away. Sam walks over to the door. Are you sure about this? Sam stands there and I can practically feel his gaze at the back of my neck. I don't answer him as I keep staring away. That's okay. I'll see you later. Sam leaves the house. Finally alone, I walk back over to the table and grab Julie's photograph. I bring it over to the couch and stare at it. I remember when I took this photo of her, I opened her eyes for the outback. If I knew that was going to be one of our last ones, I would have taken more photos that day. I would have tried to be better that day instead of bugging her about the new paint job on her bike. I just didn't know that it would be one of her last. And I spent the whole day worried about a fucking paint job. I could feel the tears starting to rise. Before I let them, I reach for the ashtray of joints, find one with a bit left, and light it up. I don't want to keep crying. It's nighttime and I'm trying to sleep in our bed. My bed. I switch from side to side, but nothing feels right. I open my eyes and look to my right. I really slept. Her scent has long since vanished, but the shape of her still remains. I reach out and feel the impressions that she left behind. I know that soon, like her smell, this too shall disappear. Then I won't have anything left of her, except memories and photos. As my mind drifts into nostalgia, I see these bright footsteps on the floor. Small, glowing energy flakes off of them and floats up into the ceiling. Alarmed, I sit up in bed and stare at them. I'm not sure what to make of them. Should I be scared? Should I be curious? Or should I merely roll back over and go to sleep? I quickly dismiss the sleep idea and get out of bed. Carefully walk over to the impressions, lean down to stare at one of them. Growing more curious, I wave my hand over one of the footsteps and push aside the floating traces of light. It feels real, so it must be real, right? Boldly, I follow the footsteps out into the hallway and into the living room. I see the steps lead through the small space and through the door. Follow after them and open the front door. Standing there, I can see the footsteps leading away from the house and into the outback. And my old dented bike sits to my left, as does Julie's, still brightly painted the color red. I take a few steps out of the house and start to follow them, only for me to stop for a few meters. What am I doing? I wondered to myself. I turn back to the house and go inside. I can't go after that without some supplies. Who knows how far it goes? I tell myself as I grab my old backpack. I load it up with dried food and a canteen of water. I quickly get dressed in pants and a thin t-shirt. I throw on a jacket over this and grab my gloves and motorcycle helmet. Rather quickly, I'm back outside on my bike. With my helmet and the gloves on, I'm ready to go. I stare at the footsteps as I'm about to start the bike. Then I remember the extra tank of gas in my house. Pause for a moment. I slide against it and start the bike. Its loud motor fills the air and I take off, following after the footsteps. Besides, this won't take long, right? I tell myself. Proves to be surprisingly easy to follow after the impressions in the dirt. Even at night, the glow of the tracks is not that hard to see. As I ride, I try to keep my focus on what I'm chasing, no matter where it might end up. Something drives me to follow these footsteps. I'm not sure what it is. You call it obsessions. For all I know is that I won't find rest until I see where this leads, for better or worse. I ride into the night using my lights to guide me. There were times where I almost end up in a hole, but I seemed to avoid them just in time. Lucky me, I guess. For some time, I look to my right and see the stars in the night sky, and a large bright moon that hangs there. About to take my attention away, but notice that the stars start to move. Quickly, they glide across the night sky and meld together. At first, I'm not sure what shape they're making. Then I see it. I see the shape of her cheek first. Her smile comes second, radiating more intensely than any sun. And thirdly, her kind eyes. It's Julie in the night sky. I stop the bike and look at it. I'm not sure how to react to it. A quiet voice in me says that this might not be real. I ignore it. I refuse to accept that this isn't real. Suddenly, the stars break away from each other and before long have resumed their normal position in the sky. I hop off my bike and walk a little forward. No, no, give her back. Just, why can't you leave her there? I yell into the night. No response is offered from the stars. I still sit there for a few moments looking at them, hoping that they are just delayed. I stare over to my left, seeing the glowing tracks. That feeling of obsession returns, seemingly beckoning me forward. Thus, I must. I rise to my feet, get back on my bike, and ride into the outback. After a few hours, I watch the sunrise. At first, it appears in the distance, softly fending off the night. It rises and rises, brushing aside the shadows. Before too long, it rises fully into the sky, causing darkness to retreat until the next night. A few yawns escape my mouth. I know that I need to rest. A few hours would do. Stop the bike next to a tall, dry tree. Its branches only offer up a small bit of shade. I assure myself it will do. I get off the bike and kick out the kickstand. I walk over to the tree and lean myself against it. Even the dried wood feels hot against my back. No matter, tell myself as my eyes softly close. Fall asleep within a few seconds. I do not dream, I merely sleep. I wake to the sound of dirt being kicked up, as if someone or an animal is nearby. I open my eyes and see a kangaroo in front of me. It's staring at me. I stare back at it. Suddenly it turns and hops away. I watch it go, then I get to my feet and get back on the bike. I feel a little more rested. Not great, but it was something. The sun's glare is starting to bug my eyes. I find some sunglasses in my coat and put them on. Then, as I'm about to start the engine, I see the gas gauge. It's half empty. I breathe in and out anxiously, and I hate myself for not bringing the extra can. Look back in the direction I came. I am considering going back. Then I look forward and see the footsteps, and I feel the odd feeling, the one that tells me to keep going. I start the engine and take off after the tracks. Hopefully, where these footsteps lead is not that far away. For the day I ride, I try not to worry as the gas gauge inches closer and closer to empty. Try not to worry about everything. With the sunset, I'm nearing empty. I regret not going back. I regret leaving in the first place. But I still see the footsteps in front of me, leading farther and farther into the outback. Can't give up now. As night arrives and the sunlight starts to vanish, my bike hits empty and putters to a stop. I sit there for a moment. Then I get off the bike and kick it over in rage. I hear the smash as I try to rein myself in. It's not the bike's fault. This is on you. Tell myself. Breathe in and out, like Julie taught me. Then grab my backpack off the bike and fall off to the tracks. Now I really shouldn't be that far now.